Hello and greetings, beautiful audience. It is us again in some shape or form. I am in the company of some very, very, very dear friends of mine, and I am so happy that I also get the chance to dig my teeth into Curseborne. Uh, Yes, I have done. Just last night, actually, with a group of excited players going through the Ashcan once again. And it was a blast. And I can tell you, Hungry at Four Cursed Dice are very scary from a story guide perspective. So, I am eager to see if something similar is going to happen tonight, but that's something we're gonna explore together. And I am already taking up too much time already without giving my good friends the chance to introduce themselves. And since she is smiling all over the screen, we're gonna start with Ipsy. Hi, Ipsy! You
Oh,
can
there
you
we
can
go.
introduce yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Ipsy. I have any pronouns because, as we've been discussing, gender isn't real, but that's a story for another time. Tonight I will be Izzy, the
Right.
lichen, get a lichen, the puppy wolf
Primal?
primal. That's the word. I'm so clever. I went to Yale. Isn't that great? Anyway, I am so excited to be here. I absolutely love this concept. I absolutely love what we're doing. I cannot wait to get it, dive in teeth first and tear it apart. I mean, really get involved in the game and explore my more primal nature. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. This is already uh, going great. I love it. Okay, next one is the wonderful Edwin. Hi, Edwin. You have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, I know. Hi, Tom. Long time no see. Um, he, him. I will be playing the pre-made Cassie, but then in the male form. He'll be called Nikolai James Hardington, a Nephilim outcast. Really hyped for Curseborne. It was a no-brainer for me to fund the Kickstarter. And I'm pretty sure that people will see me around playing more of this.
Yeah. Yep. I'm also. There's so much good stuff in there. Uh, uh, yeah. And the next one smiling is Eddie. Hi, Eddie.
Hi, hello. I'm Eddie, he, him. I am one of the people who worked on Curseborne. Little nervous about getting ripped apart by Ipsy. We'll see how that goes. But no, I'm looking forward to playing, and I am playing a character who's not in the Ashcan, Nigel Thompson, who is a sorcerer archivist who's kind of a shady dealer of information.
Ooh. I am sure there's nothing to discover or
No,
to sell within this story.
should be fine.
I'm also very glad that you're here because you can do all the important, well, actually stuff. Explain
No, no,
everything that I'm doing wrong.
it is completely in your hands. I'm just gonna let you sink or swim on your own.
Okay. And last but not least, the wonderful, the esteemed Ryan. Hi, Ryan.
Hi, Tom. Yeah, well, one, I'm abusing my mod privilege by showing my cast command, so people can find me on the internet. And also, I'm playing Evelyn Crane, the Hungry, who I will try to be representing the general vibe of, I would say it's a pleasure to meet you, but the pleasure's all yours.
That's a very nice uh, framing for an encounter with her.
Indeed.
Um, okay, brilliant. Before we get started, I don't know, maybe I should tell you for the rather big crowd out there who isn't aware that right now the game we are playing is on Kickstarter and can be funded and supported by you. So if you have for any reason not supported Curseborne yet, this is a great chance. And it's, yeah, last day, I think the Magic chapter dropped and it receives a lot of praise.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear it.
Yeah, need to dive more into it. That's for sure.
There's a
And
lot there.
since it just dropped on the Discord, apparently our friends at Telsorian Games are also working on a great game called Shadow Scar. And maybe if you're interested in stuff we do, you might also be interested in their stuff. So you can head over there. And I heard Eddie is working on some of their books too. So
Some of the yeah, I've worked on one Cyberpunk Red book. I'm working on another, and I've heard you've worked on some Cyberpunk Red too. So
but just on the German side of making words German.
it's still you worked on it.
Okay. I'm sure I forgot very important stuff. I'm gonna annoy you as we come back from the break we're gonna do. But this is for later and not for now, because now it's story time. And I would very much like to whisk you away, bring you in a world that, yeah, has very good reason why bad things happen to good people, and that's curses. And there are small curses that are embedded into the fabric of the world that just make everything horrible and annoying and just the worst experience. Like missing the subway you really needed to get by half a minute, or being on a train and missing your station and being extremely late on an appointment, which totally didn't happen to me in reality whilst I was reading a certain book. Um, and yeah, stuff like getting your shoelaces stuck in a escalator, and all the minute and major horrible things that are happening. And then there are people who just got a big pile of more curse for them. So much, actually, we can call it a damnation. And these are the accursed. And you already heard the names. And one of them, Good Evelyn, lives in a wonderful, close family of hungry, hungry people. These people like to indulge in some vital essences and liquids like, let's say, blood. And they have an important family business running in our city. And Eve is one of the faces of this business, and she's very good at getting stuff done. And so it is no surprise that an hour ago she received a phone call by her good uncle, Baron Lucius. Hello, Eve. I hope I'm not interrupting anything important you're doing right now.
Uncle, you know as well as I do that your business is far more important than my own.
Interesting sentiment. I don't know how you picked up on that, but you might be right in this instance, yes. I've got a wonderful opportunity, actually. I know both of our time is available, so I will cut the chase and get to the bones of it. You are aware of the heirs this family of Hungary that are thinking of themselves as the ruler of our city. I'm not entirely sure how they got to this idea, but they certainly behave like this. And it just happened that one of them apparently took up a new hobby and became some sort of artist, if I understand this correctly. He opened an artist a goldsmith shop in a mall or something. And well, he likes to make jewelry, and I heard it's very interesting jewelry. Interesting within the concept of a family that likes to eat hearts. So apparently it got loud around him, and his family decided that he should get out of the Sunshine Mall where he set up shop and just be a little bit quieter and not draw too much attention. The thing is, they tried to get him out of there, but I haven't seen him. And I haven't seen the guy who went there to fetch him. It stands to reason that there is a problem, and we could be the ones to solve this problem, which would tell them a little bit about our competence and their place in this city. I understand you have a few good friends who might be able to help you with this thing.
I have resources in the network, indeed. I say with the much put upon air of someone who cleans up all of the family messes and is now cleaning up the mess from a different family.
Wonderful. I take this as a yes, and yeah. Basically, find Jerome, get him out of Sunshine Mall, preferably with words, and drag him to me. This is a friendly service between House Bathory and the heirs. I don't want a murder to happen.
I look at the carefully constructed ad campaign that is my latest service to House Bathory, distracting from a recent spate of unfortunate accidental feedings. Sigh. Save the project. Send me the address, Uncle. I'll see what can be done.
Wonderful. Thank you. We will remember this.
Don't you always?
And then Uncle Lucius hangs up the phone. This was an hour ago. And not only received you an address of Sunshine Mall, but also you received a photo of Jerome. Large guy, blonde hair. And to be honest, one of these faces that you just want to punch a little bit to realign them with gravity. And yeah, it's it's yeah, somebody you would definitely recognize if you meet. How quick were the friends to be called to action?
I mean, I would definitely send out messages through the channels of communication that they individually prefer as quickly as possible, because I know what will happen if I don't.
So text message to Nigel then, and then hope that he responds. But yeah, you'll get a short message, but we'll be there. Do I need to bring law books with me?
They just stare at the text, look at the information that I've sent, which is basically what I was given. Sure, it can't help. It can't hurt.
Perfect.
You get a string of emojis back from Izzy that can roughly be interpreted as "Yes, I will be there," and then a bunch of plants.
Nigel simply responds back with, "Sure, just let me know where you want to meet and if I need to bring a gun."
I reply with the address that I've been given. I'll send that to everyone now. I've had the okay from everyone. Followed up with specifically to Nigel that bring the gun, but only as a last resort. Understand?
Thumbs up.
Perfect.
Gun, 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 gun.
Okay. So you arrive all on your own devices at Sunshine Mall. Sunshine Mall is a little bit outside of the city. It's at a distance that's inconvenient enough that you definitely have to go there by car. And aside of the airport, it is the place with the largest parking lot in the entire area. And right now, as you're driving out and the sun is starting to set, there's a huge line of cars leaving the mall, going back to the city. And you are some of the few travelers who are actually going into the opposite direction. As you arrive at Sunshine Mall, you see that there are still some cars parked, and that as the horizon starting to be tainted a little bit reddish orange, more and more people remove themselves, almost flee from the area. You know, this place will probably shut down in round about half an hour. All the shops are already starting to clear out the people, and it won't take long until the floodlights are going to brighten up the entire place in unnecessary amounts of light. Because aside of, well, the security personnel, in 2 hours, there shouldn't be many people here left. And still somebody decides it must be lit all the time, even as remote as it is right now. Since you are coming here late, you can get very close to the entrance and park your cars, motorcycles, your means of transportations. And with a few minutes of waiting, all of you have the chance to meet and catch up with each other.
I cannot state clearly and emphatically enough this is not a murder run. I've cleaned up too many messes recently, and I do not want the next one to be my grave.
Okay, but did you bring what I asked for?
No, I did not, because I need your head clear for this.
Okay, but if you don't want the murder, then it's a little more helpful if I have my, dad standing by him.
Izzy, look
Yeah.
around. I'm sure you can find someone selling what you want.
Okay, I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's helpful. I will do my best. No promises. Okay, wait, no murder, but maybe some, tearing people's faces off. Is that okay?
So Nikolai turns around. Izzy, give me $1, please.
Okay. Here you go.
Perfect. And now your lawyer, everything you say is client lawyer privilege.
Why do we do this every time?
Also, why are you so cheap?
It's for the show, okay?
All right, no, okay, it's fine.
You heard her. No murder.
Right, I'm not asking for murder, just, like fighting people's necks out.
That technically will kill people. So that's technically considered murder.
I do it right. You can trust me with this, I promise. I'm in the National Honor Society. I'm straight A's.
I don't want to bail you out of jail again.
Guys are so boring.
I mean, what do you want to do? Live out and run free? Or be locked up in a 5x5 concrete box? Your call.
Mean. Don't mean to me.
The 5x5 is the best case scenario if this goes poorly. In the tone of someone who is extremely willing and probably quite happy to throw you under the bus if it's your fault.
Why do you guys let her be mean to me?
It's a request by Evelyn. We have to honor it. I mean, if shit goes down the drain and everything goes wrong, hey, then no bars hold.
Yeah.
But then Evelyn will have to explain what happened. And if then Evelyn can prove that it's not her fault, we're in the clear. Correct, Evelyn?
If it ends up in that situation, I rather suspect the mortal authorities will be able to provide the evidence I need to remain conscious, let's say.
What if I give Evelyn the $1?
Nah,
I'm
Evelyn
not
is
a
long time
lawyer.
retainer.
If we need to creatively modify some memories, we have options, but let's maybe save murder for plan C or D.
Why, Seth? Maybe?
Okay. No murder.
This
Until there is murder, but not right now. Starting with murder.
This is a great idea. And as you're discussing important strategies, you're getting closer to the big rotating door that would usually funnel you in and a lot of people out of the mall right now. There's only one slight problem with that. Apparently, it is stuck. And that's because there are a family and another guy who have crashed their shopping carts into another in the middle of the rotating door. They are in the middle of an argument, and there's a crowd assembling inside. You can see them through the glass of the door and the front. and they aren't looking happy. They have places to go, and well, these people are apparently discussing what happened, how the flattery got damaged, and whose fault it is in the middle of the rotating door.
Tom, seeing as this is something I enjoy, I want to do a quick read on the two most vocal that are shouting at each other. The one that is literally most likely the most vocal one and red in the face. Kind of want to get a read of him if he has a violent nature. And the other one, I kind of want to see if they are, for nature-wise, kind of willing to be able to back down.
Would you, for the sake of the audience, maybe tell us what ability you're using?
Yeah, so I am using as a social quick read, and it basically allows me the first time you meet somebody, you can ask the story guide a question, which is a edge.
Wonderful. So the loudest, most vocal is a guy who isn't with a family. He is on his own. The TV that, or at least the box that looks damaged, is his, apparently. And he is massively offended about how this could even happen. Don't they have eyes and in their head? And you think he is a person who isn't necessarily prone to violence. He is somebody who expects to be right all the time. And people owe him respect for that.
Could I ask about the family?
I think Edwin also asked about the family, but
No. I basically asked if the other one was willing to back down. I didn't ask about the family at all. It's what I'm looking for. Basically, very basic, quick glances of nature, what they kind of like, and those kind of things.
Yeah. So you think so? The other person who is shouting the loudest is apparently the dad from the family, and you think he might be more reasonable, but he had a long day, and this guy is just too much, and he had enough, and he's just in anger mode right now.
Perfect. I'll make my way towards them, and Ipsy can do what she wants to do. Or sorry, let me rephrase that. Izzy can do what she wants to do.
Ipsy, Izzy, it's the same.
Yeah, close enough. Close enough.
Do either of these have like any snacks in their shopping carts? All right.
Yes, both.
I'm gonna grab a bag of chips, right, from the shopping cart.
Family or standalone man?
Let's take the standalone man's chips. And I'm just gonna open up the bag of chips, and I'm just going to move myself between them and eat chips at the same time. And I'm gonna hold eye contact with the standalone man as I eat his chips.
I am physically not able to scream at the volume at my mic right now. But this guy just explodes. How dare you? How the fuck dare you? Who do you think you are?
I think I'm the girl eating your chip.
This is theft. There isn't anything holy in this country anymore.
I'll throw $5 at him. There you go. I paid for it now.
Okay. Let's see how things develop. I would really like for you to know what is the goal of your action? What do you want to achieve?
I'm distracting everyone so everyone else can do other things.
Okay.
I am taking the attention onto me, center stage, and then anyone else can do whatever they want. And they don't have to worry about dealing with this guy because I'm pretty sure I can take him in a fight.
Uh, Probably. Something in you tells you you can totally take this one in a fight. I mean, first, you would probably settle down the pack of crisps back in the cart. Then you would go over there, lift him up with one hand, then pick up the box of the TV, and then you probably would fold it around him, throw him through one or two glass panes, and then you're gonna scrub the floor with him. At least that's what something inside of you is telling you.
Now I can do that. Yeah.
And this would probably help the other guy, this dad, going through his day just a little bit more satisfied, just a little bit relief, just one little trouble out of his hair that you could get rid of, uh, could get rid of for him. It's a service, and to be honest, it's our nature, isn't it?
And I am nothing if not generous. Gosh, I could put this on my college application. I'm so good.
So let's go. I think just for drawing the attention to you, there are several options I could see. One of them is persuasion, but also I could see this being leadership as basically commanding the attention of everyone around you.
I don't have either of those. I was going to use empathy, like in a reverse situation, to sort of figure out if this would really annoy the guy.
Yeah, I could see just doing the most annoying thing. Yeah. Why don't we take
And then it
empathy?
goes on to him to start fighting with me. Because it's the role of the
Presence.
alpha. It's the role of the alpha to come in and take charge and take the hit for the cubs and the lesser wolves in the family. I'm on board. I know what I'm doing.
Let's go with empathy and presence.
Empathy and presence. Okay, I'll do that. I have those.
You have those. And you start with one curse die. And actually, I think it's kind of funny and interesting to see what happens if we look at the curse die in the result of this. So it matters in this case.
3 and 2, and of that, one of them is a curse die, right?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. This is starting great.
Great. I can't wait. I'm so excited. Let's do this.
These are 4 hits. You basically need one, and I expected the 4 of you to basically go through the situation with 1 or 2 dice rolls. I think what happens is that you poke all the right buttons, and he doesn't have any other chance than to get really close to you. And he's a little bit taller than you. So he leans in, getting with his red face really close to you. And you see, he is actually at the limit of his options.
Can I interject as that happens as well?
Give me a second to finish my sentence, and then yeah, you can do something. And I would also be interested if Nigel or Eve would be doing something. But he gets really close, and you know, he isn't actually a guy who resorts to violence. he probably lost the last few physical disagreements he had. He is trying to intimidate you right now, so you withdraw. There's nothing else he can give. And you're fully aware of that. Okay.
I have
Nikolai.
the biggest smile. I am so happy right now. This is great.
Nikolai.
So as he's towering over Izzy, right in between his eyes and where Izzy is, a card appears with Nikolai's name. Before you do anything stupid, please know I will sue you for the rest of your life, make you as poor as hell. So think. And I will actually, I'm going to use Magnetic Draw, which is which allows me to apply the odd effect to all within medium range. And it means that I'm going to bleed one curse die.
This would bring you to 0.
Mhm. But it's also to avoid anything going horribly, horribly wrong and draw too much attention to us.
You know that if you go to 0 curse dice, you will do the quite opposite of not drawing attention to you.
Oh, right. Yeah, we have that. I mean, does it show to everyone or just to him?
I'd argue if you let slip the mask, it means everyone. And there's a crowd of people watching you right now. There's also the family, which is in a vicinity of like 2 meters of you.
Uh,
I'm not stopping you. I'm just telling you
no,
that.
I mean, it's kind of tempting because it will literally put everything back in the box where it should be before Izzy decided to poke the bear. But it's kind of too. Don't laugh, Eddie. I saw that laugh. It's kind of tempting. I'll actually I'll pull out the wallet and I'll put the $100 with it, and I'll look at him, walk away. This is the right choice, and I hand him the card with the $100.
Okay. We're gonna handle this with a persuasion roll. And I think you need presence to even get through. There's no subtlety about this.
No, that's fine.
I think he's out of his mind for rage right now. So the difficulty is at a 2.
Yeah. I have resources, which gives me a +1 enhancement to influence actions when bribing.
Yeah, it's absolutely applicable in this moment. And I think there is a consequence to this, minor consequence. If you don't buy it off, he will hold a grudge and make probably do stuff on social media.
That is fine.
Oh no.
Yeah,
that is fine.
Is gonna get hashtagged.
So that is 1, 2, 3, 4 successes. Or do 10s count as double hits?
10 do count as double hits, but it is already included. So
yeah, 4 successes. What's the target number? Because
Two is the difficulty, and then there was the complication of a minor complication worth 1.
yeah,
So with 3 hits, you are golden, and you have 1 additional.
and I've got an enhancement if I'm not mistaken.
Then we are at 5 hits.
Perfect.
If you want to, you could either put these as momentum in our dice in your momentum pool, or we could say you actually manage to find something that he still reacts to and actually gets calmer. And maybe, should you ever meet him again, realize that you might have got him out of a situation with a teenage person who was able to derail him completely. And you might get something out of that later.
No, I have a feeling we're going to need our momentum, so I'm going to put it into the momentum.
Okay.
One follow-up question. So, does this count as me gaining a curse die? Because gain curse die the first time in a scene when the entire crew comes together to solve a problem or deal with a situation.
To be honest, half of the crew came together to solve the problem.
Yeah, okay, fair. Sure, okay. Yeah, no, okay.
And arguably, one of the crew caused the problem to begin with.
True, yeah, true. No, yeah. No, yeah, no, right, yeah, no.
Okay, good. The guy grabs the bill, throws away the card, your business card, packs up his TV and his shopping cart, and leaves.
Depending on the terms of your warranty with the TV, you can probably get a refund at the exchange desk. I'm helping.
So, you manage to basically unclog the door, and it's starting to rotate again. The family leaves, kind of grateful, kind of worried, whatever you guys. This looked very bad for a second, like horribly. And as they pass you by, and other people passing you by, they all look at Izzy a little bit curious.
I'm offering chips. Oh, you want to share my chips?
Yeah. That's what you're doing. Nigel, something is wrong with Izzy.
Like the usual kind of wrong or additional wrong?
It's additionally wrong. She feels more entangled than usually.
It's because I haven't had my dragon cake yet.
Nigel kind of look Izzy up and down, and it's like, those are really expensive chips. That was $105 for chips.
I only paid $5.
Well, okay, fair, but you feeling okay?
I've mentioned this that I have not had my Rudy Tooty Smoky Rudy. I don't know.
Drugs. You haven't had your drugs.
My calming down medicine. I am unmedicated.
Well, okay, but
and
like,
also, she said I couldn't murder people, and I don't care. And I just wanted to start like, what? And I didn't even murder the guy. I do no blood.
Fair. You know, I have to respect and appreciate that you did not, in fact, murder a guy for his chips. So I will give you that.
Well, it wasn't for the chips. I mean, there was There's a
I
whole
know.
family there. I can't. You expect me to like rip a guy in half in front
I
of
do not. No, that falls into the murder clause we discussed earlier,
yeah, and I'm not doing that. Okay.
which I appreciate. But my point is that there's something you feel look more cursed than usual, and I can't chalk that up to drugs or bloodthirst. I mean, maybe a little bit of bloodthirst, but is there anything else?
I I didn't make valedictorian. I'm only making salutatorian.
I see.
And how am I gonna get into Yale if I'm just salutatorian?
True. Yeah, or with a criminal record.
That'll be expunged. I mean, don't worry about it. I have a good lawyer.
Turn and look at Nikolai.
Ah, uh-uh.
Beautiful.
Okay.
As you were discussing murder and drugs, this didn't really help with the people passing by, looking at you, leaving the mall. Maybe Nigel and the others have been looking a little bit into their faces as you turn back round to Izzy. There's something leaving her shadow, disappearing somewhere.
Hmm. Could I maybe do an esoterica roll to see if I can find out if there's magical shit going on?
Yeah, sounds reasonable.
Esoterica, and since it was a fast thing, maybe cunning.
Yeah.
So let's see. At 6, I have 1 die. All right, 2 successes, no curse dice.
Perfect. You had the feeling that maybe some of the overspilling emotions and urges of Izzy might have took the opportunity to leave her and going into the mall.
Hmm. Nigel will be like, well, at the same tone of volume he was in before, it's like, come on, let's go into the mall and get you some drugs. And then as we go through the doors, I will pull out my phone as if I'm looking something up, and I'll text the rest of the group something just detached from Izzy. I think there's someone in here who's trying to possess and or manipulate people.
And I think this is a very fair warning and a good moment to have an early break for today. And we will be back in a few minutes and then stay longer.
Okay. See you in a few minutes. Bye.
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 And we are back. And I am a man who sometimes is contractually obliged to uphold his promises. And that's totally not a faith thing. Yeah, believe me. And I have some beautiful, beautiful tales and stories for you. Like, you wouldn't even believe that right now the half of Wien sale is going on Indie Press Revolution, and that there is a drive-through Halloween sale going on drive-through RPG. And I think, which actually is kind of maybe not known by everyone, because I don't know, maybe we are having a big fun crowdfunding campaign for Curseborne right now, which you could support. There is also a new release for this week, which is the Trinity Continuum Player's Guide in PDF and POD. So if you like Trinity, this might also be a good option for you. And I think now Travis is kind of proud of me for remembering doing this. And I can return to our story. We return to Sunshine Mall in the periphery of our home city, with a ton of people leaving. Sunshine Mall has been erected in the early 1990s, and it shows. It is a rather large complex, and within the last 34 years, it hasn't seen a single cent spent on renovations. So, the paint is coming off from some walls in some areas of the building. There are some more nicer and better constructed areas. But for the most part, it's getting old and grimy. And yeah, it's also getting more and more empty. People are still leaving. The largest part of the crowd is already out of the building. You pass them in the cars, and you start to actually hear the footsteps of people instead of a loud rumbling noise of talking and walking crowds. You have shops to your left and to your right. You have an information center that hasn't seen a staff member within the last 5 years, probably. There is a large sign that should be able to tell you which shop is on which floor and which location. That it it seems slightly out of date, and it is also not entirely visible right now because it is plastered with printed out paper with faces of people on it.
Are
Is
these
it-
missing posters or?
Yes, yeah, it's just missing posters.
Minds think alike.
Are any of them blonde and extremely punchable looking?
No.
If I know any of these people.
This is a brilliant question. And I think all of you could answer this question by rolling a culture and intellect roll. The dice like you tonight.
Yeah, enjoying it while I can.
Um,
Nothing rolled for me,
hmm.
so that's new.
You aren't in the foundry right now.
I am
You
for
lost
me.
connection.
No, you don't show up there.
I will
Final player,
refresh.
yeah. Aha.
Um, so, you find one face that at least Nigel and Cassie are aware of, and it seems that Eve also knows them. Amongst the other missing person, you recognize a pair of eyes. And even though the print isn't too well done, and the colors are slightly off, you see the brilliant color of the irises of these eyes. It is a blue with an almost crystal-like quality. And you are aware that this is a quirk of a family who is looking up names, who is part of a sorcerer family.
Mm.
Just give me a second. I can tell you which one. Where did they go? They're hiding. They're good at this.
Very good.
It's one of the reefs, and a guy by the name of Miles Matthews. And since you rolled so well, you are aware that he went missing apparently around about 1.5 weeks ago.
Hmm. I don't have a great relationship with my family, so that means I probably don't have a great relationship with the Reeves, but since I know that he's a sorcerer and he's disappeared, do we know when he was last, where he was last? Was it around this mall area? Is that why the posters are here?
Yeah, seems like it.
Huh. Uh, Nigel's just gonna kind of start looking around, but admittedly, he's more of a flim flam guy than a deep investigator. So he's looking around, but then also kind of sliding back towards looking at his friends, like, so now what?
People go missing. It's what they do. And just gonna keep heading for the shop, store, whichever you prefer, that I've been directed to by the Baron.
I'm gonna rip
Uh,
that poster off and put it in my jacket.
Out of curiosity, how many missing people person posters are up there?
as you look around you, it's not only let's call it the map of the mall, which isn't actually a map, but yeah, not only it is plastered with it, You can see them on some of the shop windows. You can see them on the floor, on the walls. Um, there was a rather obvious sign and a door leading to the restrooms. You can't identify it really because it is covered in these missing posters. And it's about 6 missing people.
So it's not that many. It's not that many.
You also realize that these people disappeared roughly within the last 3 weeks.
Nikolai will turn for a moment towards Evelyn. So, this family member, when did he move in here exactly?
When did the shop open?
That's a good question. First off, sadly, Uncle Lucius didn't tell you where the shop is. He just said Sunshine Mall.
Cool.
And when it started, when it opened, you don't know.
So to Nikolai, that information was not deemed necessary for our job.
Yeah, so we might need it, considering all that we see here. Any chance you can read it out to your family member and ask him?
I think Izzy might have an idea.
Just gonna look it up on my phone
Ah,
when
this
it opens.
sounds like an interesting idea. I could see this being an investigation role for technology and probably cunning.
I will take cunning and technology.
Perfect. I am glad.
That's what you're getting.
Keep getting
It's crazy. It's another 4 hits. Okay.
Right
So,
here, guys.
um,
Look at the website. That's right there.
you learn that the Pulse, which is the newest jewelry shop and artistry place in the mall, has opened just 5 weeks ago. It didn't yeah, for the first week there was not much talk about it, and then Google reviews start popping up. And you get some very nice pictures of cool necklaces, earrings, rings, and stuff like this, and very happy customers who are praising the one-of-a-kind pieces that you can get only here, and it's already starting to get a small followership over at Pinterest and Instagram, and it's looking great. The people are very, very happy with what they get, and some tell that they already feel very, very deeply and intimately connected with their new jewelry. And you find one picture of some earplugs, and there is something within the crystal that is embedded into the piece. And if you zoom in, you might get the idea that it is one of the very, very tiny bones you have within your ear that you need to hear stuff. Also, you learn it's on the third floor.
And then we turn right at the food court, and then we'll be like,
Fantastic. Thank you, Izzy.
"You're welcome." I cannot believe that you are all older than me and have jobs.
I have assistance for that.
That's true.
I just stare at Izzy until she remembers that I'm an influencer.
That's still a job. Do you live with your parents?
In a manner of speaking, I
Do you
do.
have a curfew?
Again,
Don't answer that one. I know that. I know that. Sorry. No, you know what? Any question I have right now, you have a very cold and bitter stare for. So I'm gonna say that you won this one. Concede gracefully
Sometimes
and wait
Izzy,
until I get my magic asparagus.
sometimes Izzy, it's better to be silent and just accept things than to open your mouth.
answers are, after all, my business.
And yes, you can have another bag of chips.
But I'll head to the third floor and turn right at the food court.
Yep. Sounds better than turning the happy and fun teenager into an angry and not so fun giant wolf creature.
Murder ball.
Murder ball. Yeah. So you take the escalator, the lift, you walk the
Escalator.
stairs. What is your
Escalator.
escalator? Solid choice.
Leaning against it and then just slowly looking around to see everyone still fleeing the scene.
Yeah, as you're getting up to second floor, it's you see, okay, these seem to be the last few people who are actually customers. The cleanup crew is getting all the dirt out of the building, and as you're driving up into third floor and you have a nice overview over the slowly decomposing facility, you see fewer and fewer people. You turn away from the center and losing sight of the lower floors. And soon you can actually only hear your own steps. The shops to your left and to your right are, for the most part, closed, but are still lit. Although you can't see any staff members there. Nobody cleaning stuff up. It's already tidy, or as tidy as it gets here. There is a food court coming up, and with your steps echoing from the glass windows of the shops, you suddenly hear somebody else. You hear a voice mumbling to themselves.
Do you think they have leftover cinnamon? What was that?
Focus, Izzy. Focus.
You know, I heard something too.
Do we see anything?
Do I want to focus on the voice or the Cinnabon?
That's a decision you have to make.
I just had some chips. I'll do the voice for now.
The voice is coming from slightly ahead of you on the left side. There's a corner.
I will slide up to the corner and then kind of just peek around.
you see a woman wearing a janitor's uniform, slightly grayish hair, a little bit leaning over. She has a huge bag of for garbage with her, and she is picking flyers and posters from the wall, mumbling to herself.
Hmm.
It doesn't get better, does it? I bet they've already gone, or of course it's just me staying here.
I will slide back to Eve and it's like, there's a janitor around the corner. She's picking up the flyers that were left around. Given how past social interactions have gone, perhaps somebody else might want to try be a little more social this time around.
Oh, come.
There is a janitor doing her job. How suspicious.
Well, I mean, fair,
I am
but
perfectly charming and nice. I was homecoming.
No.
my point is that everything is suspicious to me right now in this place. And given the propensity, if the janitor was doing her job correctly, all those flyers wouldn't necessarily be everywhere. And now she's suddenly picking them up. She's apparently the only one here, which is another thing. This might not be what happened to the other janitors.
This is out of character, obviously, but we did. Tom, you did mention that we saw all the janitors doing their work, right, on the ground floor.
Yes, but they weren't picking up any of the missing persons posters.
Okay.
And you only saw them on the first floor. There was nobody on second floor, and until now there was nobody on third floor.
Okay.
Then let me rephrase that. It's like, it seems like she's not working on this floor. She's muttering something about leaving all the work for her.
I
I mean, Izzy can go talk to her, but I just don't know if that's will help you.
I do a entirely unconscious and habitual, neck crack, affix the perfect smile to my face. It's utterly soulless. This is a practiced expression, and I will round the corner confidently. Excuse me.
Can I help you?
Yes.
We aren't supposed to be here.
Well, and I look at my watch. I've still got 5 minutes by my estimation. I'm looking for the proprietor of, and I just gesture in the direction of the shop that we're here for. Is there anyone I could talk to for, I don't know, an estate office, building management, anyone I could talk to in a position of leadership that could get me the information I require?
Leadership. I think they already have left. Long time ago. I'm not sure who's running this place.
Someone somewhere has not filed out. And I will just rattle off an alphanumeric string of letters and numbers to imply bureaucracy has made a mistake somewhere.
Hmm.
I could really do with speaking to someone about this. It's going to throw off all of the insurance paperwork, all of the. And I look over my shoulder, look at my watch, tap my foot a couple of times. I understand that you have a job to be doing. And I mean, why no one else is helping you do it? I do not understand. They're all on the ground floor, just sweeping. This is clearly, and I gesture to the wall, a job for more than one person.
Yeah, you're right. It's yeah, it's much work, but you really shouldn't be here, you know? It's it's far too late for you. And she picks up another another missing person poster from the wall. And you see once again Miles Matthews' eyes staring at you, and she throws it into the garbage bag. And as she does this, you're pretty sure the missing person poster is now a flyer, and it says, "Welcome to Sunshine Mall. The future of..."
I give her a blank look back. Again, it's just perfectly rehearsed of, yes, I'm listening to you without actually listening. It was too late for me quite some time ago. Now, if you could simply point me in the direction I've requested, I will, of course, be more than happy enough to inform your superiors that your colleagues are shirking in their duties.
Yeah, that would be... And she picks up another poster. Maybe a relief. I'm not sure. There's no relief, to be honest. And she throws it into the bag, and you can finish reading what the flyer now says. It says, "Welcome to Sunshine Mall. The future of shopping already here in the year 1987.
Just, obviously, I'm taking that on board. Part of me wants to say I can give you some relief and then eat her, but at the same time, I don't know if that's quite the tone we're aiming for in this.
I mean, it's more curse dice.
Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. That's what I was
You
thinking.
said no murder.
I was about to say no murder.
There's also that. It would make me a hypocrite, but who cares about that? I certainly don't. I will wait until she's distracted and then take a flyer from the garbage and return to Nigel, Nikolai, and Izzy. So the flyers are changing, and I will hold it up. Well, more accurately, the missing posters are changing.
That's before I was born. Am I my own mom? Am I grandmother paradoxing myself? That's cool. That'll go great on my college essays. Hold on, I gotta pretend it.
Yes, that is the takeaway here, Izzy. I look at my phone. Do I have signal?
Yes, yes, you do have signal.
This is outside of my bailiwick, and I just look at Nigel.
Certainly feels like magic.
I mean, I can't punch or murder a flyer. I mean, I could, but it wouldn't.
Hand you the flyer. Feel better?
No.
I didn't think so. So I would like to do an investigation roll, see if I can figure out maybe what's going on here.
Mhm.
My character is, I do have the well-read edge, which will give me enhancement on said roll if you will allow it.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so esoterica and intellect sounds good, yes? So
Mhm.
5 and 1. 4 hits, 1 on a curse dice.
Perfect.
Plus 1 for 5 hits.
This is a huge amount. One of them is on the curse dice. That's interesting. So,
A cat appears. Oh my god.
it's the invisible cat. He is here for like 5 minutes already. So from what you can see, This person doesn't feel like you. Doesn't
Mhm.
feel like Sam. It's probably not a dead, but they are living apparently in a past or not necessarily within your time frame. Things start to change back in time. Maybe you found something like a lost soul. Someone who maybe died here and is caught here until they are being released. And usually there's something that you could do to do this. There might be a secret to uncover.
So Nigel takes a minute to think, because I do remember reading something about a category of ghosts. Let's call them lost souls. They're not quite dead. They don't really have cognizance or sapience the same way that dead do. Um, but they're stuck. So I don't think it's we're stuck in 1887. I think this person probably died somewhere around 1887, and they're subtly changing the environments to reflect how things fit into their mind, which may be why the other janitors don't come up here, because they probably have heard about the story of this floor being haunted at certain times and have just avoided it.
It's only
Or they're
Dan.
lazy. I don't know.
I'm just going to file that under not my problem then.
I mean,
Seeing as what being is said now, Nikolai turns to Izzy. So seeing as you claim to be a whiz kid with phones, how about you Google to see if anything happened here that might lead to what Nigel just mentioned?
Okay, Grandpa. Same roll?
It's technology and cunning, yes. Also saving microphones from cats.
That sounds familiar.
Yep.
4 successes, 0 curse.
Oh yeah, I forgot the cursed success. The wicked success for Nigel. I will have to come back for that one in a
that's
second.
fine. Your head explodes.
Ah!
Yeah, sounds great. Okay.
Well, fun playing with y'all. Have a good time.
Okay.
So here.
You are. Oh, I am fighting invisible forces too. You find a what's it called in English? If you write in a brief message that somebody died in a newspaper.
Obituary.
Yes, that one. You find one for a person by the name of Samantha P. And she was a janitor here during the early years of Sunshine Mall. And she got killed probably by accident in one of the storage rooms, as some of the crates which were unsecured fell down on her. And yeah, she was working at this time.
So that's probably why she's still here. Do you guys not have phones?
Once more, I have people for that.
I mean, I do, but it's just more entertaining to watch you do it.
And that.
Yeah, I
you.
just incline like my head respectfully to Nigel for saying the quiet part out loud.
I don't know. We're coming here to confront one of the hungry, and then now there's a ghost walking around. That you say it's under not my business, but I feel like there's an overlap here. It seems like too much of a coincidence. Curses don't just, well, I mean, curses do just happen, but usually there's a connection at some point. There's a reason why it's called a web, So I just want maybe nothing right now, but let's keep it in our heads as we consider to figure out who this person is you're trying to track down.
I just reach into my, I guess, clutch and pull out a notebook and show Nigel that it's basically a to-do list, but one column is titled "My Problem Now" and one is titled "Not My Problem" brackets yet.
Fair. It definitely falls in category B.
Yes, I suspected that would be the case, but this is the only way I can deal with the constant litany of tasks that is expected of me.
Easy is on both sides.
Yeah, it's just on both sides, but like it started off fine, and then the pen pressure has gradually gotten heavier and heavier as it reaches the bottom of the page.
Perfect.
Some days
Okay.
you'll be your own page.
Cassie. No, not Cassie. Nikolai, actually.
Yeah.
You didn't seem too much into Lost Soul business. You probably had a look around, and I think you managed to see the neon sign of the Pulse not too far away.
Nice. While the kids are bickering between each other, Nikolai will slowly make his way towards the pulse. Once in a while, just stops, waits to see if the others even notice that he's gone.
Oh yeah, I've noticed you've gone for sure. Mostly in
It
is he going to go murder someone kind of way, but
Hey, where
It
did
is-
Nikolai go?
It is also hard to not hear your steps as they echo here. Just a tiny bit louder than they should if you think about it. But maybe you don't think about it. Maybe just don't worry about it.
I mean, I'm used to being the center of attention.
And now somebody who might be dead for quite a few years is the center of attention. I hope this doesn't make you feel old.
Nah, just a ghost.
As you reach the pulse, it immediately throws you off a little bit. It looks too new for the space it is in. It looks a little bit too pristine, to somebody who had taste and then just added gold to it, probably put the furniture in and decorated it. And you have the shop window in which there are quite a few sets of very, very fine and nice jewelry. You can see there are lots of mirrors inside where you could put on a necklace or try some earrings and or a bracelet and look how it fits you. There is actually a corner, probably for the younger crowd, with much more affordable prices and smaller trinkets. There is a counter. There is a curtain, barring you from just seeing into the back room. and there are a little bit uncharacteristically a few big signs telling you to try your set today.
So, considering the time, and Nikolai will look at his watch, considering the time, why is this store still open?
Yeah, it's actually the only open store on the entire floor.
I don't believe Izzy mentioned that it was a long distance family member of her, right?
Oh, do you mean Eve?
Exactly the way I mean it, as in you didn't mention they were hungry.
I guess I would have told you it would have been phrased in rival interests, which you could interpret however you want to interpret it.
Perfect. So, see, I take it nobody in sight.
Yes, that's correct.
I take it there's those nice little, in this case, gold-plated bell thingies that you can hit on to get attention.
Mm-hmm.
So considering it's literally quiet in the mall, except maybe for a few voices, hitting it will be loud. Let's go. Ding, 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 ding,
ding. Yeah. At least you draw the attention of your crew.
Yeah, I know.
Izzy.
There's absolutely a Pavlovian response to the ding 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 ding. She comes running. Oh yeah.
You are not alone anymore. Great news. How about Eve and Nigel?
Should have bought fucking doggy treats.
I would really have appreciated some Scooby snacks. Yes.
If Izzy has gone tearing off in a direction, I'm going to follow after her because I want to make sure I get there before the bloodshed happens.
I will follow slowly and sedately, giving the utmost impression that this is my own idea.
Of course. Who else idea? We wouldn't know. You see there is nobody coming for you. There's no response, not a single movement that isn't of your own. Soon all four of you are in the shop and waiting for somebody to come who isn't coming.
I don't think anyone's going to answer the bell.
Apparently not. Shitty service.
Well, the owner's missing, as is the last person sent to find them.
What, weren't we here supposed to tell the owner and get them out of here? Is that what we needed to do?
Yes. We have to find him first.
But the store's still open.
Tom, does it look like, like someone's come in, found it open, and taken anything that would lead us to believe it's been open and unlocked for a while?
Like looted or anything?
That's the word I was looking for already. Thank you.
No problem.
I would good for a career.
How do we feel about an investigation roll?
I mean, I certainly have feelings about an investigation roll. Sure, why not? Not great ones, but I have feelings about them.
I would like to propose a different one.
Ah.
A different feeling or a different...
Let's stop playing the game. Talk about our feelings.
All of the above.
So it all started when I changed.
Hair in funny places.
I would like to propose larceny as an alternative. As a teenager of extremely good repute,
Mm-hmm.
who has never done anything in her wrong in her life ever, and is always good and well behaved. I would like to think about ways that a perfectly bad teenager who does bad things might look at a store that has no owner and the lights are on and there's nobody there to stop them from taking things. What might they do in this situation?
This
Huh?
sounds like a good idea.
Time to time to speak out Judge Judy and get Izzy out again.
No, Judge Judy was a mage.
I think I need to let the cat out of the room. You're gonna go with the larceny and probably cunning roll. I think Eve is a little bit more calm and calculating, so probably investigation and intellect. And you're gonna roll this, and I'll be back in a second.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey,
Exciting dice rolling.
guess who has no points in any skills relating to this kind of situation?
I'm sure it's fine. What could possibly go wrong?
Nothing.
I'll just double check, but I'm pretty sure my notes here say everything. Oh god, everything.
And yet somehow you got 4 hits.
Yeah. Look at that. The dice are on fire tonight.
It's okay. 4
I
hits.
don't know why my
And
dice not rolling.
more 4 hits.
Oh, actually, could I use one before? Hang on, I need to read something.
Because it is basically an investigation scene, and you are an investigation person.
I'm not. However,
You're
I'm a social person.
oh, Cassie is the investigation person.
However, could I
Fine.
use one of my hits from the cursed die, on the otherworldly cursed die trick, please? Otherworldly sense, sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Gain additional evidence exclusive to a supernatural sense. So if there is anything supernatural here, I get a vibe for it.
Okay. There is going to be a lot of vibing going on.
And Tom, it's funny that you mentioned that Nikolai is the investigator, but he has fuck all investigation skills.
But one of you has like 1 or 2 edges for investigation scenes. I am pretty sure it's either Eve or Cassie.
Yeah, so
I'm all about the face.
Nikolai has spent 1 momentum to gain a lead instead of evidence on an investigation roll, but they have no investigation skill. Literally nothing for it.
Yeah, but okay. There's the skill investigation, and there is a certain type of action or scene in investigation. And we are right now looking for evidence and leads in the scene on what happened, where is the guy we're looking for, and this would be a scene where you could apply this on a role you do to gain more information.
I have a inheritance that the first time I gain a piece of evidence, I can gain a second one without spending anything.
Okay.
Nice.
You are already getting a ton of evidence right now. I am not sure I can give you even more. But I'm gonna give you quite a few information.
Oh, and there's
And maybe Nigel and Nikolai then get ideas of what they want to investigate too, and maybe tackle the entire scene as a party and crew and gain a curse die from that. I'm not sure. Okay.
Isn't it Enigmas, which is the investigation skill?
Am I calling enigmas investigation all the time?
Yeah, I mean, Enigmas is basically puzzle solving and whatnot. So
I'm sorry.
Okay.
For some reason, I was thinking there was the skill investigation, and I was wrong earlier. There isn't a skill called investigation.
Right, but
And
there are investigation scenes. It just they're not all based on the investigation skill because there's no investigation skill. Right.
Okay.
the second part is true, and Eddie is by far too polite to to point out when I'm wrong.
No,
Okay.
he said you would sink or swim on his
Yep.
own.
So,
I commit to it.
Tom, before you go down that road, what did you want to roll for enigmas and investigate for the investigation role with enigmas and attribute?
I think it's always the question of how you approach the scene. Like, Izzy is following the instincts of a teenager she totally isn't.
Mm-hmm.
Eve is,
I'm just
in
looking
my
around.
mind,
That's all I've got. I'm not skilled in this in the slightest.
taking stock, looking what's there, what would make sense to be there. I can see Eve making lists in her head and probably also with paper and pen. I don't know. So, yeah. And this is more an intellect approach. How do you think Nikolai would look
Nikolai
further?
will then treat it with cold intellect.
Yeah, sounds great. And I didn't say this earlier, but I think at this point, this basically becomes a team action. And
Four successes for Nikolai.
Eddie?
So I'm going to take a slightly different approach. I would like to argue for larceny instead because Nigel, being a criminal, wants to see if he can figure out maybe if there was a crime scene here or if this was a setup for a crime scene that was covered up and try to reverse engineer that.
Yeah, perfect. So basically, Nigel and Izzy are a team.
Yep.
And Eve and Nikolai are a team. Perfect. And one of you, Eve, is going for mystical and cursed vibes too. Okay, all of you, since you're for the first time working in unison, have a curse die, everyone.
Woo!
It's actually one of my favorite ways to gain a curse die, because Curseborne is fucking awesome at teamwork. There are many ways. Okay, so we have two successes on the criminal in the criminal arena and 8 hits in the enigmas arena, basically. And
You're being nice to me because I rolled 0 hits. So, but I got a momentum for the proof, so that's that.
that's there, right?
Is
So
there a thing when there's a 1 on the cursed die?
and
You
you've
failed completely.
Oh,
Yeah, it is a
yeah,
failure, full failure.
maybe it's soon time to bring down the hammer on Nigel for being better than he should be and being worse than he should be.
There's no middle ground.
No, no. And I think I just got the idea of what to do with that. But let's start
Okay.
with the fun things. So let's start with Team Totally Not a Crime. What you realize about this place, it has been visited within the last few hours. You're pretty sure. And for Izzy, it's also like the air smells like it. It smells like people have been here. At the same time, it's also not too well ventilated. There's not too much air exchange. The smell is a little bit old and cold already, and you are disturbing it. So within the last few hours, there has been maybe 2 or 3 people here. You think most of the stock is still there. You see one glass case where an entire set of necklace, earrings, 2 rings should have been, It is missing a necklace. And the rest of the set is still there. It doesn't look like this is usual. So it might have been removed for some reason. Once you're looking through the stuff, you, of course, all four of you, get a better look at what kind of jewelry is here. And you go through the different things, and you see more more earrings, more rings with encased tiny bones, a few locks of hair, maybe. But you also see, and I think that's probably Cassie who's finding this. You find a pair of earrings, and they have just the most incredible iridescending colors to them. There are two, and yeah, Nikolai, not Cassie, I'm sorry. There are two probably silver or metal plates, circular, hanging on the earrings, and they are of a bright, almost crystal clear bluish color.
Why does it feel that the trend of all the gems are kind of bluish that are being crafted?
It's not necessarily all of them. It's just this pair of
Oh, okay. Because I
earrings.
thought that the previous one that was being mentioned was also blue. That was on Instagram or whatever you want to call it.
No, that was the tiny the one with the tiny bones from the ear.
Yeah. I thought
That wasn't blue. That was white.
Oh, okay.
There
Sorry.
was something else blue in the story already, but
Yeah, that was the eyes of Mouse. So can I, and I'll need the permission from everyone else, use one momentum to turn a lead, to gain a lead instead of evidence on an investigation roll? Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
you are pretty sure that the material that it is laid into this earring pieces, it is matching very well with the eyes of the now two missing sorcerer. And as you almost touch them, you feel the strings of the cursed web. There's a slight pull towards them. And I think at this point, Eve feels attuned enough with the atmosphere in the room. And you feel these strong cursed vibes coming from the earrings and from several other pieces within the room. And you identify like a hole in the web, like something very important missing, and that's the missing necklace from the case that Izzy and Nigel were inspecting. And as you turn around, there, your eyes almost magnetically drawn towards the curtain. And you realize, drawing that open, will reveal something behind it. And it's less about a something, it's more about a somewhere. This curtain is part of a threshold to a place that isn't entirely within our reality.
I am visibly struggling. So I'm assuming that we've been through some situations before, and that's how we've got the bonds with each other and how we know that we work well together. So I am visibly struggling with, I guess in game terms that the hang on, I wanna make sure it's the right game terms because we've got to big up the game.
Not making stuff up like your
Yeah.
story guide.
Exactly.
Right.
I am visibly struggling with my damnation right now. I need the need to feed is pushing against everything that I have, and those whoever's closer, like my teeth have elongated and sharpened slightly. There is, but it's I'm not normally the one to do this, so you may not believe necessarily how well attuned I am to the web and magic in the area, but there is a problem here, bigger than perhaps we were led to believe, in the tone of voice of, like, I really wish I could make this someone else's problem right now.
Since we've worked together a bit, do we know, does she like have to kill people to feed, or is it just drinking blood?
I'm for those who don't
Not
have
Izzy. I'm not talking to Izzy right now. I'm talking to Eve right now.
for those who don't have access to the Ashcan or the manuscript, the hungry do need to feed, and they can have preferential prey. I'm leaning along the lines of, when I've got at least one cursed eye, I don't need to kill anyone. It's just I feed. Preferential prey, obviously, if possible, but I can just feed. At zero cursed eye, when the damnation really kicks in, that's when someone's going to die.
Okay.
And it's like I'm not there yet, but I'm clearly on that knife edge.
Nigel will kind of walk up to Eve and put kind of a hand on her shoulder. It's like, do you need something to get you through this?
I take a deep breath, ignoring the tasty smell. No, I'm in control. There is simply a lot of death has happened here, or is contained here. And there is something, and I look over your shoulder in the curtain. There is something beyond the curtain, somewhere different, new. And then I take another deep breath, close my eyes, and center myself. Perhaps we should lock the door just in case anyone else does come in.
Good idea, but back to you for a second. We need you at 100% if we're going to walk through that. I'm going to sacrifice some of my blood to keep you on top.
I grin, and you can see the teeth, but you can see as they shrink. If it comes to it, I'll take you up on the offer. But for now, we need you as strong as you can be.
Okay.
Who is closing the door?
I will, if no one else does. Actually, I will, and then I will collect all of the body part jewelry. Let's say that has read as significant.
Okay. As you do this, you find a ring, and you can see in the clear stone that is embedded into the ring, there are a few There's a very tiny gray hair curl in there. And I'm still going with the freaking amount of hits you have accumulated. Um, it resonates a little bit with something or someone you recently met.
Was this one of the items that was cool?
Yes.
So I will indicate that. And does this seem familiar to any of you? And also, if anyone can find that necklace, that's important too. And there's a look on my face and doubt in my voice, like, I don't know how I know this, I just know it.
I'll take the gem. You said it was a hair wrapped around it?
It's within the stone that's set into the ring.
Does the hair look like the same hair as the janitor we saw?
Yeah, that could be a match.
Because you mentioned she had graying hair, and so I don't know if this hair is gray as well.
Yeah.
I think it's the ghost has moved to now your problem category.
Well, it was only a matter of time. What is it Mother likes to say? Like us, it is inevitable.
Mr. Story Guide, question for you.
Yes.
Would this count as a possible battleground?
A what?
A possible battleground?
What you're about to enter? Mm, I think you would notice if it was one. You don't get the impression.
I mean, Izzy's here, isn't every place a...
So it might become a
Not,
battlefield.
not a capital B battleground, but a lowercase b battleground.
Yeah.
No, battlegrounds generally are really fucking weird. You know when you're in them.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if they would just show up like this for a outcast or not, or if it's literally something you need to.
If you think you're in Silent Hill, you're probably in a battleground.
Yeah, okay. I mean, it's starting to look like Silent Hill, so.
Fair question.
It does say I can take an action to hunt or track a target.
Mhm.
What would that be survival?
Yes, on the other hand, I don't know if I even want you to roll this or just give it to you since
Well, I
you
add my entanglement as hits. So I would automatically get a success.
I think there are not too many targets that you could be hunting right now that you wouldn't be immediately aware of if you would use this ability. So I just think the dice roll is superfluous at this point.
Right. All right, that's fine. My second part of that question is, can I track objects that way?
I'm going for a judgment call here. And I say within the limits of our story, yes.
Okay. Because the question is then, can I track the necklace that's missing?
You have the rest of the set. I think absolutely.
Okay.
How does it look like?
Can we call that a cunning and survival?
You don't need to roll.
Okay. So you're just asking me to describe the action?
Yes.
What is easier to track an item? Well, she smells, first of all. She's got a smell going. And then she sort of bobs and weaves and tries to triangulate with her nose. Ooh. No, ooh. Who had chips? No, that was me. No. Mm-mm. We're going We're going this way. Yeah. Can I smell if anyone's touched it? Or is there like a distinct scent to the
You know what? Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there is a this is brilliant. Okay. Okay. What you smell on the rest of the items, and that is invoking the idea of a much stronger smell, is it's a little bit like blood, but with the metal notes turned up to 11. It is sharp, and the smell kind of bites into your nose. And as you're digging into this smell, you feel a connection between you and the missing piece growing, and you're being drawn towards the curtain. And as you start pulling the curtain open for a tiny bit, for some reason, it's actually Nigel who suddenly feels the hairs in the back of his neck standing up, cold shivers running down his spine, and this feeling that somebody is just an arm's length behind you, and the knife they are holding is just a finger length away from you. And you know that somebody very dangerous who is actually close by just became aware of you. And Izzy draws open the curtain towards the back room, the workshop. A place that all of you, but especially Nikolai, realize is just a step beyond reason. It's not entirely here, and it's not entirely there. It's in between. And places which are in between are perfect to hide stuff in it. And so Izzy, probably being the power engine within this team, is going in there. You are on the track of the necklace, and I am sure you will find it. You know it's pretty close. So you ignore the messy workbench in this, if you couldn't even call it dimly lit room. There's some flickering light, but it doesn't match the lamps on the ceiling. It just comes from slightly next to them. There is something thick dropping from the workbench. There is a certain smell, but you have to sort it out of your mind. You can't concentrate on that. You need to stay on your track. You you see that you don't pay too much attention to the strange temperature here. You don't pay too much attention to all the fine tools that you would need for jewelry crafting, and the very sharp knives and pincers and cutting devices, and especially not the larger pieces of this equipment. You ignore the larger piece of plastic wrapper coming from the shaft that's in the wall. You are focused on your track, and it brings you into an area a little bit in the back of the room. And what you're finding there, I would tell you probably not in a minute, because your eyes are set on something else. The rest of the group is free to experience the workshop in its entire glory.
What do we see?
Well, there's the workbench with the tiny tools and the larger tools and the thick fluid dropping down. There's this off-center light. There is the shaft in the wall. Looks like the shafts where you throw dirty clothing or maybe garbage down. And there's like this thick plastic wrapper still looking out. Got stuck in there.
Oh,
What do I
corpse. Huh.
smell?
Once again,
What do I smell?
you are high on the smell of this not entirely blood anymore. It's more irony, much sharper. Doesn't smell or taste nice, to be honest. You're not entirely sure you want to find what's there.
So, can I roll a intellect and esoterica to kind of figure out exactly what we're stepping into before stepping into it? Because this doesn't feel normal.
You are, as an outcast, completely aware this is a liminal space. It's not a battleground. It is a hiding hole for someone, probably Jerome. But you get the vibe that's not, it's not okay. It's not okay at all.
Nikolai is holding back for a moment to see what Eve and Nigel are about to do.
Nigel's seems like he's distracted because like he's constantly looking over his shoulder trying to see something behind him.
And for the first time, probably let's say for the first time this evening, the mask of composure has slipped, and there's just it's either rage or incredulity, and you're not sure which. And then just under my breath, I guess Nigel would hear, and probably Nikolai, to be fair, this is just messy. As in messy in the terms of like sloppy work, not. I mean, it's literally messy as well, but there's a professional pride at stake that has been wounded. Well, I suppose that there is a problem that needs cleaning up. And Nigel, are you okay? Can we count on you
What?
now?
Oh, yeah, yeah. Sorry, I just thought I saw a guy with a knife. Sorry.
Say what?
I'm going to assume by that reaction, nobody else has seen the person with the knife.
No. So can you repeat that again?
Could be nothing, but at one point I thought I felt someone behind me with a knife very close to me, but then when I turned around, I didn't see anything anymore.
I will look around, see if there is an individual with a knife in here with us.
You don't find an individual with a knife.
Do we find multiple people with a knife?
It's just a cult. We just missed them somehow.
Huzzah!
Do you see a reason why you would look into the shaft?
I would eventually out of curiosity more than anything.
There's a reason why the plastic wrapper is stuck. It is wrapped about something that's heavy and rather bulky, and that's stuck too.
Found Jerome.
Well,
One of his
Nikolai,
victims.
that is an assumption, and I'll pull what I'm, leaning towards being a body out of the disposal chute.
It is a body. It is a body with three things you immediately notice. First, it's almost entirely naked. Second, there is a mess where the eyes used to be. Third thing you realize, there's a hole in the chest, and the heart is missing. And you realize maybe if you put these earrings like coins on the eyes of this person, this man could be identified probably as Miles Matthews.
Well, that's one
So-
mystery solved at the very least.
So, Eve, maybe now time to elaborate? Because I think if Izzy is going to see this, the plans of no murder are being thrown out of the window.
Yeah, I think murder's back on the table at this point.
Yeah. So, elaborate. And this time, I would recommend you to not hold back. And I will use arconic voice. Gain +1 enhancement to influence actions. Ignore overstimulating complications.
I just want to check something.
Yep, go for it. I am waiting to see if I need to roll for it.
Basically you are talking to another player, and
The stream. I think my internet might have had a slight hiccup. Hopefully that's worked.
murder.
No,
Apparently.
Stream.
Okay, well OBS is saying we're not live, but Twitch is saying we are live.
Yeah, because I can see us.
Ipsy is just holding up the sign.
Yeah.
On my end of the stream.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Right. Well, OBS is just losing it, I guess. I'll just have to keep an eye on the bit rate, because if that drops to start spiking, we may have a problem. Anyway.
But yeah, no, I'll.
Yes, if you want to use that ability, that's fine. It will just affect how Eve mechanically interacts with you.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Nikolai is literally not amused at the moment.
Okay. In which case, the response is a dead-eyed stare. Just, I'm utterly unfazed. I assure you that, one, I have told you everything I know, that I was requested to find Jerome and bring him to my uncle. Although you would know that uncle is not a biological term within my familial network, such as it is. And that if we find him alive, whatever happens to him will be far worse than what Izzy can do. When you have time on your hands to think and scheme and plot, you get extremely creative.
But the way you or your uncle calls him out has reason for me to believe they might be, air quotes, related to you.
I forget, Eddie. Did you as Nigel mention like a faction relationship with the Reeves?
They were another sorcerer group, but no, otherwise, no, he didn't mention a strong connection with the Reeves.
Cool. Related is we share a curse. That is as far as it goes. Yes, Izzy.
By uncle, do you mean sugar daddy?
How long have you been waiting for that?
A while.
There is clearly a concerted effort not to tear your throat out. By uncle, I mean abuser.
Oh, that's valid.
Okay, all right, all right. Look, we're all getting a little tense, so let me just take a step back at the bigger problem. The fact is that we are now holding a corpse. This was a sorcerer who got killed. That's a pretty big issue. Looks like a different hungry did this, not your family, but different family, sounds like. Just like this is a different family from my family. So my family's, I don't give a fuck what my family thinks, but even then, they're probably not going to care in a direct sense, but in the indirect sense of sorcerers being killed and a curse being killed, some families are going to take well to that. And it sounds like your family, Eve, is not taking well to that. It's probably the reason why we got all looked into this.
No, they are drawing attention to things best left unknown.
Right. So my thought is we find Jerome, we indulge in what his face tells us we should do and solve this problem.
This is a perfect moment for Izzy to
with the murder sheet.
With the murder sheet, being further into the workshop. You find a chair, like from a dentist office. It just looks like from the 80s. And there is somebody strapped on there. And it's a rather large individual, blonde hair, punchable face, opened chest cavity.
Oh,
And it's a very clean cut.
okay.
The ribs have been opened almost with surgical precision. And you are aware that actually the necklace is resting where the heart should have been. Nigel, the person whose presence you're feeling is probably breathing down your neck at this point.
I'm going to very gently grab Jerry by the chin. Okay. I go, You okay, buddy? You in there? Help is on the way.
He is dead, is he?
Yeah, I know. that doesn't change
I
it.
know, but I was making a joke. A
Do that.
reference.
Everybody's dead, Izzy. Everybody's dead.
But I can't do a sternum rub if his sternum is all the way open. I'm gonna pick up his arm and try and drop it on its face. See if it, all the classic check if he's alive and okay moves. Check for his heartbeat by touching the necklace.
I'm just going to start shooting video on my phone as proof that he was dead when we got here.
Come on, Jerry. You can do it.
And, take. I know that it's going to be seen by people who are intimately acquainted with blood and how it sprays and coagulates, but take extra special pains to vocalize that there'd be more blood here if this were. I hesitate over the word our, but I use the word our fault.
I make sure that Eve actually gets the hand dropping on the face, and me trying to figure out how to do a sternum rub is on the video too.
So, Izzy,
Yeah.
should anyone come in here, start searching around, your fingerprints are all over the place.
Uh-huh.
Congratulations for making it murder suspect number 1.
Okay, but I didn't actually murder anyone. I don't have.
I'm sure your parents will be happy to hear that when police comes and knocking on the door looking for
Okay,
you.
great. But also, what?
I'm not entirely sure this will make it to the police.
Yeah.
Let's hope not.
But also, I didn't cut someone's heart out. I don't have a knife, or a medical degree, or surgical equipment, or anything like that would allow me to. If you've seen me murder people, which you probably have at this point, it's very brutal and bloody and gross.
If I could interrupt the lawyer's planning for a second, Izzy, can you do me a favor and see if you could smell anybody behind me?
Sure.
Thank you.
Also, for the record, I was doing first aid, and I will go behind Nigel. I'll go behind Nigel, and I will smell.
Yeah, there's nothing to smell.
But I will also now be watching his back.
That's a good thing. It takes maybe a second until you realize it's none of you who's talking. Oh, I wouldn't worry too much about medical education or the right tools. Turns out if you just invest enough time and look around, you will always find what you need. Thank you for making clear that you actually killed people. This is going to make this so much more easier.
Fun.
Where's the voice coming from?
You look around and the place does something that liminal spaces sometimes do. It changes its dimensions, the corners shift, and suddenly there are 3 more exits to the room. And from one of them, the voice comes. I didn't expect for quite such a job, but here we are. The one in the suit, I think your kind actually does something useful. You can still leave. I think the rest has sadly to stay. If you want to make this quick and efficient, I would like to start with the long teeth.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
How many
Yeah.
dollars do I have to give this one?
Oh, no, Izzy, this one you can kill.
Yes, murder. Thanks, Eve. Do a sign. Thanks, Eve.
It, it,
Yeah,
know,
I think I'm gonna have to decline your offer.
that's actually sad. I'm actually sorry that you decide to stay. You know, maybe this can change your opinion. And he really deserved it. It took me years to find him, to track him down, and to finally pay him back.
So let's do this different then. Lay out your case, your grievances. Tell us all what happened. And then we can discuss.
Mm,
I think that's
just
only fair in this situation, don't you think so?
just to the more trigger happy people in the room, if you move just an inch, I'll stop and I go to step 2, which includes killing all of you.
They won't.
Great. Okay. This person, I think you discovered what he did to the last guy who came in here. He destroys people's lives. And sometimes people don't take too kindly on that. And he came to our house. And if he'd done to my sister what he did to this guy over there, that would have been a mercy compared to this, what he actually did. I didn't understand what happened that night. Not until a month later, till she came back and tried to take me as well. I couldn't find her. She is still somewhere out there, still suffering, still killing people. And I'm here to right this wrong. I'm here to put a stop to that. And I'm going to protect everyone who is going to suffer the same fate as I did, or my sister.
The 3 present with me, they're not the reason for this.
You heard your friend just admitting she killed. I know their kind. I am sorry for this, but they just can't be trusted around people. They get completely irrational. There's something within inside them they can't control. Something that would also be the case for you, but I understand you actually kind of protect our borders, so that's, I think, some sort of necessary evil.
Even though your words make sense, and even though most likely your actions are justified, they are not justified against these 3.
I think we differ in our opinion.
You are right now a murderer for your own reasons. You are not killing to protect.
Oh, yes.
You might have done that in the past when your sister just passed away. But now it's just murder because you feel you can and you make up your own rules and guidelines and you think that those are now the right principles. Yet in their grander scheme, they are not.
As
Um,
Nikolai
mhm.
is saying this, could I, having been specifically called out and, understanding that this person is very anti the hungry, um, I have 2 curse die, so I hold that's the prerequisite for a spell. But embraced by darkness, I would just like to gradually fade out of view.
Hmm. Yeah. Um, I have good news for you. The person you're talking to doesn't have any abilities to make invisible people visible. So you get away without a clash. And Eve disappears. Um, I think Izzy stepped away from the corpse of Jerome to check for Nigel.
Yeah, she's
So
back to back with Nigel.
what happens is that suddenly someone materializes next to the corpse. And roughly female statue wearing black cargo trousers, thick boots, leather jacket, and one could say an unhealthy, I would call it a reasonable amount of knives. And she is smart enough to hide her face behind a ski mask. She reaches into the chest of Jerome and she draws out the necklace. And that's something those who are more on the empathetic side could realize it's hard for her to do this. It's almost like she is feeling pain from touching this item. She does so nonetheless. She holds it up and says, she is still out there. And that's what he did to her. He even kept. And she has to let go of the necklace. It falls back.
Tom, I want to do a quick read on her.
Do this.
Okay.
So I kind of want to know if I can, if she is, and you might interpret this a different way, able to, that she's willing to listen / able to be persuaded to join forces with me.
From the four of you, probably the most. She is deeply hurt. And from what you have seen her doing just now, and seeing that wound, it's not the first time she did harm to somebody who is a hungry, probably. Um, she is fucking good at this. She might be able to take the four of you out. Maybe, not sure. you have to see how much power Eve, Nigel, and Izzy actually wield right now. But there is a real danger in her, and it might be hard to convince her to let you go. There's
Yeah. Oh, that's fine.
still a sliver of a chance.
Yeah.
And I have just to intersect for a second. Looking at the time, we are probably having our last maybe dice roll or action at this point.
If it helps, I think I can solve this with a die roll.
Ah, okay.
Let me win an ally. Let me win an ally.
I could do that too. I could do that too. I got you covered, bro. So Nigel listens to Nikolai trying to convince her. And finally Nigel goes, you know what? I think it makes a lot of sense. And I'm going to bleed a curse die for alter fate. Change a target's driver goal to suit my current personal goals.
Okay. I think this one would be contested, though.
It's a clash, yes. Let me dig up real quick. I believe it is my persuasion. No, it is my empathy versus their enigmas, or whatever the pool is if they're an NPC. So
Yeah.
Is there a way that I can assist Nigel with this?
I think you already did quite a lot of groundwork, so we could always invest the bond.
sure.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm looking at Izzy and I kind of feel that disappointment too. I have to scroll beyond all the fun combat abilities that I gave
Yeah.
her.
Yeah, but I'm willing to take one for the team.
We
I'll take
appreciate
Miguel.
Press F to pay respects for Izzy's lack of bloodlust.
Okay.
I'm also going to spend momentum because it turns out I did not buy much empathy. So we have 6 momentum, yes?
7.
7 actually.
7
yes.
momentum. I actually could wait till after dice roll, so I'll hold off on that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to roll my dice.
That's actually a note I made into my reference sheet, and it's the only thing written in bright red after the row.
So I do have 1 curse success, so I'm going to cash in. Oh, what the hell? All 7 momentum for 7. Actually, no, I have to cap out at 3 for 1 source. So 3 momentum to get 3 more enhancement to have a total of 4 hits.
Oh.
Plus the bonds with Nikolai, so that's another one's 5.
So we are actually looking at 2 more successes than I rolled.
I was just checking the curse die tricks, and the area of effect is 2 hits on influence actions. If the angry guy is close enough. Obviously, it's your
I
roll
think it's
ID, so
same person. I think it's the same person, isn't it?
I just missed what you're wanting to do to ask. I'm not entirely sure, Ryan.
Oh, I thought there were 2 NPCs. Sorry.
It's just one. Just
Okay.
one living and not entirely dead NPC in the scene.
Gotcha.
Rome is dead.
Good instincts, though, to consider the curse trick to make it basically shockwave. But yeah, we only have 1 person here. So yeah, I'm going to buy off the difficulty. And on top of it, I'm going to spend 2 more hits to give her the ennui effect. So she's also kind of just exhausted with this whole conversation to really set home. Listen, Nikolai knows what he's doing. Let's sit down and talk about this. Maybe we can figure something out. It's in your best interest to follow along with us.
It's a very hard sell. You feel there's a truckload of resistance against the supernatural influence. And I think it's Izzy and Eve who are picking up on the signs as her eyes are getting blood red. And there is something going on with her teeth, but not entirely. Both of you are aware she is not accursed as you are, but there's definitely something going on. And this is screaming against what Nigel is doing to her. And I have an interesting question. What does it look like that you are doing?
Oh, the spell.
Yeah.
So as Nigel's talking and kind of stepping a little closer to Nikolai to kind of show the body language of we're all on the same page here. But little wisps of purple energy are actually coming out of his mouth as he speaks, and they slowly start to wrap around her neck and slowly just make her way into her eyes. And see that flash of purple in her eyes as I just quietly twist what direction the course of her life is taking.
Hmm. Is there a cost you're paying for this?
I've let a curse die for that.
Okay.
Now, to be fair, technically speaking, she could take a hard bargain and just resist this, but that means that we have to put conditions on. We put conditions on the hard bargain.
Yeah, I think looking at the time, several things don't happen, like
Right.
taking the hard bargain, like the splinter of curiosity and anger that ran away from Izzy isn't influencing her right now. Or reanimating Jerome for a brief second, making everybody jump and breaking maybe concentration or stuff like this. There are quite a few things that aren't happening. Amongst these things is a horrible murder at your crew for this person who is very good at killing hungry. Um, actually listens. Um, turns out she is absolutely not going to talk to Uncle Lucius and explain what happens or happened. She um she lets you go. You come to an understanding that maybe it is all right, especially since Izzy would have killed the fuck out of Jerome if he was still alive. And maybe, maybe you will meet her again. And maybe someone of you was clever enough to pick up her sister's necklace. Well, it's not owned by her sister, but made from something of her sister. And, well, I think you learned what happened to Jerome and Miles Matthews and the three other people who got missing. You might have an idea what happened to Samantha, or at least how release her. And I think you did something good. We don't know what the heirs think of what you did. We don't know what Uncle Lucius thinks of what you did, but maybe, maybe you actually made this place a little bit better. So this leaves us with an oddly optimistic ending.
Yay, the tiny sliver of hope, hooray!
It's not my problem yet.
And I thank you very much for playing this game of Curseborne.
Yeah, it's
Problem.
great fun.
Yeah.
No,
Thank
I
you.
had a great time.
Sorry for misunderstanding at the end.
I am not sure you.
I'm sorry. Izzy couldn't murder somebody.
Yeah.
While it is disappointing that I didn't get to murder anyone, Izzy is easily placated by, broccoli bones.
And chips, apparently.
Yeah.
Chips.
I had a whole list of slang terms for marijuana, and I would just pick them and mix and match them.
Oh, yeah. Honestly, I think we wouldn't have had the time at the end to go into a fight scene.
And
No, that's fair.
But I just want to see devastating blow in action. As I first encountered enemy attacks as consequences for player attacks, I was like, what's this? It feels odd. But after I got behind what's actually doing, I was like, oh, I so want to do this. Give it to me. Yeah.
So next time we play, we just start immediately. Izzy is already halfway into somebody murdering them, and we start with a fight.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
maybe that's how I end up fighting sometimes. Yeah. So I think it's time for us to maybe tell everybody who are these interesting people who were talking about completely legal stuff on the show, and
depends on what country you're in.
yeah, didn't commit any murders, luckily.
No,
No murders.
solve some murders.
Yeah.
We didn't even slap someone.
I did, but he was already dead. So it didn't matter.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So, okay. This time, let's start with Ryan, who takes a ton of load from my shoulders by running the show and being the wonderful tech genie. And yeah, big thank you to you. And please tell everyone who you are, what you do.
Yeah, I'm Ryan. I freelance writer, not on Curseborne, much to my upset, but there's always the future if it does well enough. I also run behind the screen here on this channel as a hey, here's how you can write homebrew and community content material. And if anyone is interested in using that as a route into freelancing in the TTRPG industry, all of those are up on my YouTube channel. The link of which I shared in the chat. But yeah, that's kind of me in a nutshell at the minute, anyway.
Thank you. I think I'm gonna follow now the course of my Zoom call view. So the next one is Edwin.
Oh, that's interesting change. Hi, Edwin Whistles, he, him. I was playing Nikolai, a Nephilim lawyer. I don't do any fancy writing. I once in a while show up while Tom needs a willing victim to play. 9 out of 10 times his ideas of victims turns into something way more worse than he could have imagined. Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you. Next one is Ipsy.
Hi, I'm Ibsy. I was Izzy, the primal, who was a lot of fun for me. It was a big change from what I don't normally play a lot of fighter characters, but this was fun, even though I didn't actually get to fight or murder anyone.
But you tried so hard.
Yeah.
I do lots of interesting things according to Tom. And it's hard to pin anything down. I do have a couple pieces on the storyteller's vault, one for Changeling, but I just wrote the intro fiction. I'm available for projects sometimes. Hard to say. I make maps. I draw pictures. I write signs encouraging murder. It's great. I'm a joy to have on stream, and everyone should invite me to join their streams. It's never not fun.
Yeah, I can totally support this message wholeheartedly. So, thank you, Eddie.
Yes, I probably have the most boring bit. But my name is Eddie Webb. I play Nigel Thompson. I am one of the in-house developers on Path Publishing, one of the writers on Curseborne, and frankly, it's just nice sometimes to play the games I work on. Usually I'm having to be the person who runs them for various promotional reasons. So it's nice to actually get a chance to actually dig into the system and play a bit. So this was really great, and I appreciate you doing this, Tom. But you can find me at pugsteady.com. That's my website, and it's also my account on Blue Sky. Or you can find me on the Onyx Path Discord, where if you post a Transformers meme, I'll probably show up within 15 minutes because that is the contractual Fey contract I have.
Ah, great. Good to know.
Am I done?
Thank you. Yeah. Hi, I am Tom. I am absolutely not a Fae. And I'm a professional GM. I run games over at startplaying.games. I had several very fun games of Curseborne, the Ashcan during this month. And yeah, I run a few other games right now. I don't have an open group, I think. But aside of that, I do games and RPG translations, and I got the chance to hold my first real hardcover 170 plus pages book in my
Nice.
hands. So it's a great feeling. And yeah, I do a lot of freelance stuff, so you could hire me or play a game with me and do all the great things. So thank you once again. I think our listeners and watchers and the audience could tell by the excitement I was overwhelmed by as I said hi to you on the stream. It's just such a delight, so great to play with you, and yeah, I'm just happy. I'm just a happy.
Yeah, it's awesome.
See you all maybe soon. I don't know.
In the next liminal space.
Yes, stay away from back rooms and workshops. Honestly, it's not healthy.
Not healthy. Not good. Bye.
Bye.